back. Hi, I'm Siobhan Muir, and today we're going to make rice pudding. Okay, so fair warning, I've never done this before. I've never made rice pudding before it was gluten-free or not. I just never made rice pudding. But it is Father's Day, and Mr. SM loves rice pudding. So I'm gonna try. We're using Gluten-Free on a Shoestring by, I think her name is Nicole Hunn, and she's got a rice pudding recipe in here, and so we got the ingredients, and we're gonna do this. So it says you need, I'll give you the list here, 2 cups, 16 fluid ounces of lukewarm water, 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. I use salted butter, it's just my thing. 1 cup short grain rice like sushi rice. And this might actually be 2 cups in here, but 4 cups, an entire quart of milk, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, probably for garnish. Okay, so what are we going to do? In a large saucepan, bring the 2 cups of lukewarm water to a boil. Once it's boiling, add the salt, butter, and rice. So, I think we could probably get away with not adding more salt. I think there's enough salt in the butter, because like I said, I use salted butter, that we probably wouldn't need to add salt to the water, do you think? Or do you think it would be best to add? Nah, let's just do it without salt. We'll just use the salted butter because it's for the rice. It's cooking the rice. Okay, so we do need a cup of rice. So we're gonna do that. That's right. Now, we did buy a different kind of rice. It was called Calrose rice. And, but they recommend, in this one it said, short grain rice like sushi rice or arborio. I think if you can get away with a rice that tends to be sticky when you cook it, that's really what they're looking for, because they want it to kind of congeal. And to make a pudding. And so we happen to have the nishiki rice, but there's another kind of rice that you can use if you can't find nishiki rice. And we managed to find ours at Natural Grocers, but yeah, whatever. I think they have it at Asian markets as well. We do have a short grain brown rice, but the problem is brown rice takes so long to cook that it's kind of like, yeah, just get white rice. Okay, so
Wait, almost there.
that's only 2 cups? That seems like hardly any water. Yes, but there's a reason why you're supposed to put it in a large saucepan. I know it looks like there's hardly any water in it, but the thing is, you're going to add an entire quart of milk. So you want to have enough sauce, enough pan that it's not overflowing. We were going to use a smaller pan. We were going to use this one, which is, same set, but smaller. Yeah, we don't think it was going to be enough. So we're not going to use that. We're going to use that pan.
And it's almost there.
Starting to boil? Oh, excellent. Okay, so what we'll do is we will add the butter, the rice, and I think we're going to forego the salt because this is salted butter. Okay, is it boiling? Fantastic. So I'm gonna add that first, because then it's less, and then this one, add it there. Okay. So then it's just stirring the rice.
Boy, do I hope this butter just melts fast, because it's kind of funny to stir around a big old piece of butter.
It says, bring water to a boil. Once the water is boiling, add the salt, butter, and rice and stir to combine. Reduce the heat to a simmer and cook uncovered for 10 to 15 minutes. Simmer is down here. So that would be a setting of about 3 on our stove. The thing about rice also is it has starch in it. That's what makes it sticky. So In some cases, you want to wash the rice to clean it off. That's when you're making regular rice. If you want to make rice pudding, you don't want to wash off the starch because that's what helps it congeal. Okay, I think we're good with the stirring. So then you just let it simmer. Do you see it simmering down there, little tiny bubbles? That helps it cook off the water, and then it also cooks the rice, because last thing you want is crunchy pudding. And no, no crunchy pudding. So while the rice is cooking, what we're going to do is we're going to do in a medium saucepan. We're going to place the milk, the sugar, the vanilla, and the cinnamon, and cook over medium heat until the mixture is simmering. So, since we're just going to put ingredients together before we start cooking, let me shake this up, because one of the things about goat milk is you want to shake it up.
Do you want me to put this in first then?
Sure. All right. 4 cups of milk.
Good heavens. Okay, and does this also require stirring?
It probably will, but we need the vanilla. So this is recyclable. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1. You know what we could use? Probably a whisk would be good for this one. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon.
I'm just gonna start. I have no idea if this is what I'm supposed to do, but we're gonna go with that, yeah?
And just stir that until it's pretty well combined. Then we're gonna heat it.
Why don't you put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of,
I didn't get a full 1/8.
I was like,
No, we don't need that much cinnamon.
I can't taste cinnamon, but you guys can. I don't know why it's not. That would probably be why. What can you do?
A little bit of experience.
It's kind of fun to start right now.
It was kind of fun stuff. All right, so this we are going to cook over medium heat until the mixture is simmering. All right, so everybody has their favorite burner. That's our favorite burner. We use that a lot. I'm thinking this should be okay, but we'll set this at a 4. We'll start at 5 and get it to start heating up. And this is for the rice. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different spoon. This. Now, you have to be really careful. You don't want to overcook the rice, and you certainly don't want to overcook milk. Milk will burn. Doesn't matter if it's goat milk or cow milk, it'll burn. So you kind of have to be careful. All right, let that sit for just a second. Start it heating up, which is good. I think I'll put it to get it started, and then once it's simmering, then I will turn it down. And wait a minute, didn't it say medium heat? It said medium heat. Well, medium heat is 7.
Really? Heat is 5.
Okay, we'll negotiate.
6 works for me.
6 works for you. All right, so this is basically, the thing about doing these recipes is you're thinking, oh, it'll go so fast. But basically you're waiting for it to cook. You're waiting for it to simmer. You're waiting for it to bubble. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting for it. Okay, so it says, while the rice is cooking, put together in a separate medium saucepan the milk, sugar, and vanilla. Cook over medium heat until the mixture is simmering, which it was not on the other burner. So we put it on that one, and I, you know, kind of increased the heat. Hopefully, if it's not simmering, it's no big deal. But this one says, stirring occasionally until the rice. Okay, cook the rice. Let's see. Once the rice is cooked, add the simmering milk mixture to the larger saucepan. Cook the rice and milk mixture over medium-low heat, stirring occasionally until the rice has absorbed everything. This is what it should look like. There's just a little bit of starchy water. Then you add the liquid to it, which I'm just going to do. All right, so turn that off. There we go.
Where would you like me to set it? Just on this one?
No, in the
Sink?
yes, in the sink. Away from the plastic though.
Yep.
All right, and then we're going to turn this up to medium low, which is about 4.5, and then I'm stirring it together so that we get kind of like, there's the rice in the bottom, the milk. Ta-da. So then you let this thing cook. It says, what, 15, 20 minutes?
15 to 20 minutes more, yeah.
Okay, so we will set a timer. Let's do 18 minutes. What do you think?
I think that's a good place to start.
All right.
Stirring occasionally.
Stirring occasionally. Good. And again, I was stirring so that, you know, you can see that the rice is down in there. Ooh, it smells good though, doesn't it? Yeah.
Now. The rice smelled like it was burning a little bit, but I think that's just the way rice cooks, and that's how it smells. Not a lovely scent.
All right, so we're gonna let that, hopefully medium low means that it's going to thicken. That's, again, I have never made this before, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna take time though. Obviously it's gonna take, we're gonna decide 18 minutes. All right, we'll see what it does. So it's gotten, we did 2 more minutes instead of 4, and it's starting to thicken. So what they say is, take it off the heat, let it cool on its own, and it should thicken as it cools. Ooh, it's pretty thick already. Look at that. Okay, and then it says, cool the pudding in the pan for 15 minutes, then transfer to a large bowl. We're gonna use a container. We're gonna use more of our casserole container because it's big enough. And then allow it to cool completely at room temperature. Cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate it until set, at least an hour. So we'll start our 15 minutes now and see, I mean, it's already thickening. Ooh, that's really cool. Look at that, it's already thickening. All right, well, 15 minutes. This recipe, I have to say, is a lot of waiting. There's a lot of waiting for it to boil, waiting for it to simmer, waiting for it to cook. So just understand that the most of the time, it's not actually, you know, making this. Most of the time is just waiting for it to cook or cool or all that stuff. So we'll be back in 15 minutes to show you what it's done. All right, so the timers went off. It has thickened. It has thickened. So now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put it into a bowl. I don't have a bowl, so I'm going to use the casserole dish. Well, I'm right-handed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it off. Oh my goodness. Just have the strength. I know that we're putting the back of this thing to you. Just a moment. We'll show you in just a second what this looks like. Okay, I think we got it. All right. So here's what the pudding
Wow, it smells good.
looks like. All right. So then what you're supposed to do, I know you're gonna find this really surprising, you have to let it cool completely to room temperature, which is more waiting. It says, allow it cool completely at room temperature. Then you cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate until set at least an hour. So basically, given with all the times we had to cook and wait, I'm thinking this recipe will take you about 3 hours, I would think. Wouldn't you think that's about right? To get, so that you can eat it, right? From start to finish, with all the 20-minute waiting, that's 1 hour. Plus then you had to do a 20-minute cool, plus then you have to wait probably, it might only take another 20 minutes to cool down, so maybe 2 hours? And then you put it, but then you have to put it in the fridge for an hour.
At least.
Yeah, so it is thickening though. It is very much a thickened rice pudding. Would you like to taste it?
Wow.
Pretty good, huh?
It's actually really good.
It's really good. All right, so okay, what we're going to do is we're going to let it sit here for a little bit longer. Then we'll show you putting plastic wrap on it and stick it in the fridge. And when we come back, you'll see it once it's cooled completely. All right? See you soon. Now, the last part of the waiting. You cover it with plastic wrap, you put it in the fridge for an hour-ish, and then you should be able to serve. It's supposed to be served cold. The photograph in the book shows that someone put cinnamon on top. We've already put cinnamon in it, but it might be good to have a little cinnamon on top as garnish and flavoring. So now it goes into, and it's pretty solid, but there's a little bit of liquid there. So we'll put it in the fridge and let it cool entirely. And then we'll serve it up in a bowl when we're done after more waiting. So we'll see you in a little bit. What's really funny is it's still kind of warm.
I guess we're gonna need Dad for this, won't we? Because it's for Father's Day, and you mentioned how much Dad loves it.
I did mention that. Mr. SM. God, I'm so fast. Mr. SM, since it is Father's Day, and it is, you know, as requested. Oh, can you get out the cinnamon, please? You have to tell me how it is.
I will tell you how it is. That was nicely done.
Yeah?
That was really nicely done.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's nicely done.
It's really nice. And it's got a texture in it. So you're not just eating goo, you're not just eating gelatin, you're actually eating rice and the sauce associated with it. Let me put that in another bowl and we can take a picture. But anyway, that is gluten-free rice pudding, although it seems like it's rice pudding. Of course it's gluten-free. But boy, that's really good. And it's a nice light flavor where, but it's still kind of liquidy enough.
And in the fridge some more, it'll probably set a little better.
Yeah, well it's only been set for an hour. They do say at least an hour. You probably could let it go for 2 hours. Or like, you know, like when you put Jell-O in, it takes what, 2 hours to set?
About 4.
Or 4 hours. Yeah, you could set it in as long as you want. So if you were planning on serving this at a party, my suggestion is make it early and let it set, maybe even overnight. But anyway, that is rice pudding. God, it looks good. It tastes really good. I bet you could get away with using the Calrose rice.
Probably.
Yeah. You definitely want sticky rice and you want short grain rice. But let me move this aside. Yeah. So, thank you so much for joining us. Do remember to subscribe. I keep forgetting to ask you guys to do that. So, subscribe down below the video and ring the bell at the top so that you get notifications about when we have put up a new video.
And don't forget to like.
Oh yes, and please like the video. Helps the algorithms and lets everybody know that we're here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. Bye!